First warning weather with meteorologist Kristen Currie.
6:03 is the time. Good morning to you. This is our covert Bee Cave Automon camera. Look at the winds that we've got coming out of the southwest. I noticed this last night. It was trash day in my neighborhood and I could hear the lids on the trash cans banging. I thought, here we go. Here's those southerly winds are going to help boost our temperatures today. There's a little front that's pushing in later this evening. It's not going to do a whole lot for our temperatures yet. This is cold front number 1 of 2, but it is going to squeeze the air out in front of it and cause some gusty winds and some very warm temperatures. 50s and 60s right now in the hill country. We've got temperatures in the Austin metro at 66 in Taylor, 63 downtown, 60 in Buda, and 61 in Wimberley. Eastern communities, 60 in Lexington, 62 in Bastrop, 60 in Lockhart, and 60 degrees in Schulenburg. Coming up, here's what I'm going to be talking about. Record-setting warmth, not only for the daily high, but we're going to be flirting with the all-time November temperature record. We've got some real nasty winds on Sunday coming in behind that stronger cold front. The Big Daddy cold front comes in late tomorrow night. That's going to have the problems here with the winds and some sub-freezing wind chills. We're talking 20s walking out the door. That's what it's going to feel like on Monday. I'll show you the map here shortly. In the meantime, here's Erica. Show you because again, team mornings, team evenings, every dollar going to the Central Texas Food Bank. Here is why you should donate to team mornings. This hour's theme is first. So think back of the joy of your first paycheck, right? It probably maybe was your first job when you were 15, but it was still a paycheck nonetheless. Your first smooch, right? It was sloppy, it was messy, it was all over the place, so bad.
It was so bad.
It brought so much joy, right? You were in puppy love. Your first concert, not to brag, but mine was Hillary Duff in Sacramento, California. Your first sip of coffee in the morning.
Oh, that's the best.
That was literally,
honestly,
if you're up with us at 6:11 in the morning, you know how much joy that brings. And we're looking to share that joy with the Central Texas Food Bank. The evening team, however, your first speeding ticket, right? When you knew like this is going to get bad, right? Not only because you're probably going to get in trouble with mom and dad, but also because it costs a lot. Your first mortgage, when you thought forever, there's no way I'm getting out of debt, right? You see that big old number. Your first day of middle school, terrible. And your first breakup when you thought you're going to be single forever, right? Think about that. When you're team mornings, team evenings, what brings you joy? That's the joy we're trying to bring to the Central Texas Food Bank and for all of our community when it comes to fighting food insecurity. We'll talk a little bit more about your forecast coming up. The needs are unfortunately are. So please do what you can. If you can, we understand that things are tight this year. Let me show you what's going on with your forecast. Clouds and radar showing dry conditions across the entire state. We are still looking at pretty much an influence of a zonal flow here. So the jet stream's too far to the north right now. High pressure is going to be pretty much the factor here moving forward. But I'll tell you what, that southwest wind, although it's fairly light, it's doing some work with these dew points, bringing them up to the 60s, if not even some 50s out in the hill country, which again, you guys were looking at dew points in the 40s earlier in the week. 50s and 60s this morning. 63 degrees in Austin is how we start the day. How about a high of 90? What? Yeah, we're talking about record-setting heat today. Current record for the day is 89. We last did that back in 1988. But the current record for the all-time warmest November temperature, 91. We last did that in 2016. We done it 4 years on record, but I think we're going to get very close to that today. Highs in the mid-80s to low 90s everywhere you look. Might be tough to tell on this map, but I've overlaid the wind on top of this, and you're noticing a northerly wind. Well, that's that little boundary that's going to come through and flip our southwest winds to a north wind. It's going to squeeze the air in front of it, and that's why we're so much hotter heading into the afternoon. But the evening will go from the 80s to the 70s. I think it's going to be a really nice night if you're going out to Chaparral Stadium, watching Dripping Springs take on Westlake. The game starts at 7 p.m. If you're not going out there, you can watch it live on KXAN Plus. Our stream will start at 6:50 this evening. 80s and sunshine tomorrow. Hold up come Sunday. That's a strong cold front. This thing is digging down over the plains. It's going to leave most areas east of the Mississippi with freezing temperatures, and we'll get a little piece of that. There's no moisture with it. We will stay completely dry. The dry air coming in along these very strong winds late Saturday night into Sunday morning. 35 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts in the morning. Even the afternoon is going to be gusty, and because we won't leave the 60s, it'll be chilly. But come Sunday night into Monday morning, look at your wind chill. Still with some leftover wind and those lows in the 30s. We are walking out the door to temperatures that will feel like 20s when you factor in the gusty north wind. So 7-day forecast is rain free, but we are going to be looking at record warmth today. Temperatures down to the 60s Sunday with gusty winds, and unfortunately that will come with the critical fire danger too. Then the 30s with lows Monday, but feeling like 20s. Cold again Tuesday in the 20s, but sunshine and a warming trend leaves us in the 80s by the time we hit middle of next week. Erica?
All right, thanks so much, Kristen.